Hi friends, my name is Girish Manwani. I'm a certified enterprise architect and a certified Scrum Master. Today we'll discuss a few things about Spring Boot and Spring MVC. I personally don't believe that's a fair comparison. Spring Boot is just a great way to build Spring-based web applications quickly, and it increases productivity. Let's try to see how the two compare. In common man's terms, if you ask, Spring or Spring MVC would be described as something where you have the raw materials and the building blocks, and you just need to carefully assemble them together to deliver a solution. What Spring Boot does differently is it's a ready-made framework that just needs to be assembled, and the developers can just focus on business logic rather than fixing issues like finding the right libraries all the time, adding them to the dependencies, and worrying about the versions. This happens quite often with plain Spring Vanilla or Spring MVC. With Spring Boot, they do try to address and solve this problem by having a blanket dependency. One more thing here I would like to describe is that how easy it is to quickly run or package a Spring Boot based application into a jar with an embedded Tomcat server, and then quickly Dockerize it and port it to a Docker image and push it to the cloud, versus trying to do something with similar with Spring MVC. It would take a lot more time and reduces productivity. For definition, Spring Boot makes it easy to quickly bootstrap and start developing Spring-based applications, avoiding a lot of boilerplate code and addresses to hide a lot of complexity behind the scenes, so the developer can quickly get started and develop Spring-based applications easily. Spring MVC is a web MVC framework for building web applications and contains a lot of configuration files which need careful attention, and there could be chances you could go wrong somewhere or have a wrong version specified somewhere. So a lot of manual work involved with Spring MVC. To compare the two one-on-one, to put it in simple words, Spring Boot, it avoids a lot of boilerplate code. It wraps a dependency into a single blanket unit. For example, in your Spring boot pom.xml, you just mention Spring Boot Web Starter as a dependency. Whereas for the same thing for a web-based application in Spring MVC, you have to add a lot of dependencies to get your web application up and running. A Spring Boot application can quickly be packaged as a jar file and have an embedded Tomcat. To do something similar with Spring MVC needs a lot of configuration writing, adding a lot of plugins, a lot of editing and code addition in your XML, which really is not a very productive way of doing things. With Spring Boot, again, it reduces development time and increases your productivity so that production-ready applications can be built quickly. Spring MVC takes significantly more time. One example here of time-consuming tasks would be, the adding of dependencies. You need to constantly worry about adding the right dependencies, the right versions. There could be occasions where you don't find a dependency by name. You go online, search for that dependency online, get the right name and version, try to add it and see whether it works well. With Spring Boot, a lot of these issues are taken care because you just have a blanket tag for dependency in your pom.xml. To put it in plain and simple words, Spring Boot is an easy way to build applications and get started up and running and quickly bootstrap with Spring based applications, which earlier used to take a lot of time writing a lot of boilerplate code with plain vanilla Spring or Spring MVC. That's it from me now. I hope you understand, and please get back to me if you have any questions. You can pass on the same in comments. Thanks. Bye.